Hey everybody. So the time has come once again for me to make some liquid culture broth so that I can expand some of my cultures and get them ready for use in multiple projects. I wanted to take a little bit of time to go over with you guys the step-by-step process that I use for making my cultures. So bear with me while I put all of this together. Let's go to step one, which is gathering all of the equipment and ingredients that you're going to need. One of the things that I use for my liquid culture process is my Instant Pot. I love it. It's one of the best things ever. So to prepare, I've got a silicone trivet in the bottom and I have about 800 milliliters of water. And there's one thing that you should always do when you are working with glass inside of an Instant Pot or a pressure cooker is add a little bit of white vinegar. There we go. You don't need much, just a tiny bit, and that's going to help you preserve the clarity of your jars so that the minerals in the water don't cloud up the outside of the jar. Okay, so now that the Instant Pot is ready to go, let's talk about the ingredients that you're going to want for this very simple, basic liquid culture broth recipe and some of the equipment that you'll need. Now, I make 4 jars at a time. I use 16-ounce jars. I've got those 4 jars over here ready to go. You're also going to need some modified jar lids. I like to use these plastic ones. I made them myself, but I believe you can buy them pre-made from all over the place. I'd even sell you some if you wanted me to. I don't have that many, but I'd make you some. Anyway, so they've got a self-healing injection port here. They've got a micron filter patch here, and both of them are sealed in there very well. These jars also have a seal, or lids, I'm sorry, have a seal inside here to help create the pressure inside of the jar and keep anything from getting in there. So, you're going to need magnetic stir bars for this process, and you're just going to add one to each jar. Ready to go. Measuring cup, spatula, measuring spoon. This is a 1/8 teaspoon. For my recipe, we're going to use half of this, but I don't have a 1/16 teaspoon. So if you have a 1/16, you should use that. Otherwise, use the 1/8 and just do half. You're going to want a digital scale that can measure in grams to the 100th. A cup. I use this NyQuil cup. And then the 3 ingredients to the broth are light corn syrup or Caro syrup, nutritional yeast, and light malt extract. You can use dark malt extract or something that's just labeled malt extract. Really, you just need the malt. And that's it. Those are all of the ingredients for the recipe that I use that is very successful. Now let's talk about getting it put together. So I'm also going to be making some of these for my TikTok page. So I'm only going to do 1 jar for you guys. And if you want to see another jar done, or you want to see it in a different format, jump over to my TikTok, One Dave Nation, and give me a like and a follow over there as well, if you TikTok. Anyway, so we got the jar. Here's how I like to put everything together. It's really quite simple. Get the jar first, and we're gonna go and get 1/2 of a teaspoon of the malt extract. Move the jar over. Move you guys a little closer. Now, I'm gonna wipe this off with this clean dish towel. I promise it's clean. I put it there before we started. And we're gonna get 1/2 of the yeast. We're gonna get that in there. Now, for this recipe, we're gonna use 300 milliliters of water. And of course, you're gonna wanna use distilled water. You don't want all of that fluoride and chlorine and any of the other chemicals that may be in the water to be a part of what you've got going with your cultivation. So we're going to pour out 300 milliliters of water. And I'm going to microwave this for 2 minutes to get it nice and warm. While that's microwaving, I forgot to tell you about one other thing you're going to need to prepare, which is some foil aluminum squares. Aluminum foil squares. And of course, I'll show you what to do with these when it's time. I'll tell you what else we're going to do while we wait on the microwave to get done, is we're going to measure out our wet ingredient, which is the Caro syrup. So, put your measuring cup on the scale, zero it out, of course, and we're going to put in 12 grams, which is a roughly 3% solution in the 300 milliliters of water. 12 grams of Caro syrup. Measure this out as carefully as you can. Don't worry if you go over. It doesn't have to be exact. So it looks like I've got 12.8 grams. We're going to take a little bit out just to get a little closer to the 12 mark. Boom. 12 grams, ready to go. All right, so the water's out of the microwave. It's nice and warm. You get your jar with your stir bar and your powder inside of it. We're just gonna set it right on the stir plate, get that magnet centered on there, and we're gonna pour the water in and turn the stir plate on. Just like that. We're gonna give this, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds for that powder to really integrate into the water there. And then we're gonna add, turn that down a little bit, then we're gonna add in the sugar to really activate all the good stuff that's going on in there, right? Now the reason that you heat the water up while you're doing this really is just to help all of the ingredients absorb into the water, or dissolve, I guess is the right word that I'm looking for. Also, and I'm just now noticing this, so we're gonna learn this together, but this cup is not the most ideal for this process because it's got little protrusions on the inside, so I can't smoothly get all of the goodies out of there. So I'm going to get a different cup for the next round. But in the meantime, look how the water turned colors. Look how it went from cloudy and opaque to almost completely clear. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want to happen. Now let's get this ready for the pressure cooker. Getting the culture broth jar ready for the pressure cooker is a very simple process. We're going to take the lids that we've prepared already, and you just want to make sure, first of all, that you don't have anything on the outside edge that could interfere with the seal. And just to be on the safe side, we can get a clean paper towel and fold it up several times and just quickly wipe the edge off like that. You're going to tighten your jar down. And remember, you don't have to worry about leaving these back turned a quarter turn or anything, because they have a breathing ability, a filter patch right here that's going to allow them to, have any expanding or contracting that may need to happen during the cooking process or the sterilization process, and your jar integrity will not be compromised. That's why we have this little filter patch. And the last step, of course, is to gently cover the top with aluminum foil. Now, why do we do this? Well, there's a number of different reasons. The first and foremost reason is to prevent water during the steam and boil of the pressure cook from collecting on the top of the jar and getting into that filter patch, clogging it up. We definitely don't want that to happen. Number two is when you take these out of your pressure cooker, the top of the jar itself is protected underneath the aluminum foil, maintaining the sterilization until you get these into your still air box or in front of your flow hood, and then you can open them up. The top is still completely sterile because it was protected by the foil. So I'm going to get this into the pressure cooker, and then I'm going to get to these other 3 jars. But I hope you found this video informative, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Jump over to my TikTok, give me a like and follow there, and let's learn together. Thanks for hanging out.